What is the best way to lose and maintain the lost weight according to the latest science? We know that water fasting is great, especially when you follow the system, to build the good eating habits. But what are those habits supposed to be? Let's find out! Well, as it happens, a brand new study, a massive meta-analysis, just compared them all. Alternate date fasting. Date? Why did I say date? Alternate day fasting, short-term fasting, calorie counting, time-restricted eating. And the results are pleasantly surprising, at least for me. What was surprising, fasting which worked best over 1 month isn't the same as what worked best over 1 year. And the long-term winner comes with some catches and know-hows, which we're going to dive in. Alright, so this new study, published in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition, analyzed 47 randomized controlled trials involving over 3,000 participants. And that's a lot of data when it comes to randomized studies. To me, it's very exciting because I've actually tried all the approaches. So I've downloaded the materials and let's see which method is the winner. Well, they have compared 4 popular fasting regimens to see which one truly stands out for weight loss and overall health benefits, so it's not just scales numbers. And what we have there is continuous energy restriction, CER. That's your classic daily calorie reduction. Think of it as dieting 101 approach. Then we have short-term fasting, STF, limiting calories to about 25% for a couple days a week. Kind of like having mini fasting runs through a week. Alternate day fasting, ADF. Eating very little one day, then normally the next day going like that. It's like being on fast and famine roller coaster. And then we have time-restricted eating, or intermittent fasting, eating all your meals within a set time window each day, usually less than 12 hours. Imagine turning your kitchen into a club with very strict kitchen hours. It's 6 p.m., last call to the kitchen. After that, no go. But which one actually works best? And here's where it gets interesting. Some diets here offered quick wins, but came with significant downsides. Others seemed less impressive at first glance, but held hidden long-term benefits, but also with some twists. And in the short term, 1 to 3 months, alternate day fasting, ADF, led the pack with the most significant weight loss. Participants lost an average of 3.5 kilos, and that's more than 7 pounds. The idea of losing weight that quickly is tempting, right? But when I tried it, I personally hated ADF. The ups and downs were just way too much for me. Then we get time-restricted eating at 2.2, STF at 1.9 and CER at 1.6. What's very important, and it applies to short-term, mid-term and long-term results, there is always variation. Okay, there are some people any method works for, some it doesn't. While ADF here worked the best for most people and calorie counting was at the bottom, for some people, like me, ADF doesn't work at all and STF works much better. So, I guess what I'm saying, you need to know the pros and cons of each approach at each time mark, and then you can fine-tune what works the best for you. Alright, here's the first catch. Lean mass loss. Not all weight loss is a good one. It surprises me how many people don't realize that. Well, it's not as bad as amputation, but you know, that actually would be the quickest way to shed pounds. Anyway,
Short-term fasting, STF, led to significant lean mass loss, both statistically and actually mass-wise. Those 2 days when you almost don't eat, that's when it's obviously very hard to get your proteins in. Don't know about you, but I don't want to sacrifice the muscles I'm working so hard to build and maintain. Losing them not only affects strength, but can also slow down your metabolism and affect long-term health, so definitely be mindful of that. Time-restricted eating also led to some loss, but smaller, and I think it's much easier to mitigate. If you do that, put protein first. Protein and fiber first, then everything else, and that actually might also amplify fat loss. The catch with calorie restriction, we see in the study that many people are not so good at restricting, but it might be a strength in the long term actually. Hint, hint. And the catch with ADF, while effective in the short term, many people, including myself, found it just emotionally tiring over time. As I said before, when I tried ADF, the wall came very quickly. Maybe I wasn't motivated enough, maybe just not for me. But the dreaded rebound is very real. In fact, at the 6 months mark, every method has bounced back. Let that sink in. Every approach bounced. Because people generally struggle with restrictions. It might work initially, but sustaining it, that's a real challenge. That's also something to keep in mind. If you want to lose 10 pounds before the wedding next month, that's one thing and nothing wrong with it. Just be ready to pay back with some interest. And if you want to lose 10 pounds slowly over the year and maintain it, and then maybe lose another 10, it's a different strategy with different pitfalls, as we will see. So, who is the winner in the long term? Drum roll please, and it's time-restricted eating, TRE, or as it's also known, intermittent fasting. And according to the study, in interventions lasting from 7 to 12 months, TRE not only helped with sustained weight loss, but also showed benefits in lowering fasting blood glucose levels, which is an additional win for metabolic health. But here's a twist. To truly maximize the benefits of TRE, it seems to be a very good idea to link it to circadian rhythms, something I was talking about for years, now in the study as well. Syncing your eating window with your body's natural biological clock. Because when you eat early in the day, let's say from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., you can ride the enhanced insulin sensitivity. That's how you get even better results. I've tried that as well, and if you're interested in the details, I have the actual data in a separate deep dive into intermittent fasting, TRE. But in short, I've got more energy, improved my sleep, and I measure that. Some stomach discomfort went away, so it felt like almost my body said, thank you for listening. So that's exactly what I'm practicing today, and just shrink or open the window depending on where I'm in the muscle building cycle, if I'm bulking a little or cutting. But what does it all mean for you? Because, as I said before, every method can work, especially if you have the right mindset and can adjust accordingly. So if you're looking for quick and short-term weight loss, ADF is a legit thing. Just be prepared for potential hurdles down the road, like hitting that plateau or even experiencing the weight rebound. For STF, you'll need to be extra mindful of protein intake and maintain a solid exercise routine to protect your lean muscle mass. In fact, for all of these methods, that's probably a good idea. I've actually managed extended 7-day water-only fasts without losing any muscle. Just finished one this year with DEXA scans to prove it. So it's absolutely feasible, but requires careful planning. If you want to know more, watch that video, ask the questions. Next, if long-term health and sustainability are your goals, continuous energy restriction can work. Just remember, most of us tend to underestimate how many calories we eat. So you need to implement very careful tracking. If you're in a calorie deficit, but you are not losing weight, you are not in the calorie deficit. Yes, thyroid and insulin, they are very important, but they mostly affect how hungry you feel, which is a separate topic, separate videos, I have them too. And if you're just starting or looking for a balanced approach, time-restricted eating, also known as intermittent fasting, is the most promising candidate to help you achieve that lean physique without too much stress. Because it's practically a set and forget system and it's so easier to stick with. So pick a manageable eating window, see how it works for you a few months, then if needed, shrink it a bit more and keep tuning up. If you hit a plateau, and it applies to all approaches, enjoy it, because it's so much better than rebounding. Maintaining is the major win. Ride it for a few months, let your body adjust, and reduce the window again. And, as I said already, be mindful of protein and exercise so you don't waste the valuable muscle. Maybe also do a DEXA scan. I highly recommend to all my friends do it once in a while. And the most important, keep it simple, keep it slow, keep it steady, keep it smart. Adjust, combine, experiment, see what works for you, and if it doesn't, try something else. At the end of the day, it's about making sustainable changes that support your overall well-being, not just about the numbers on the damn scale. It's about how you feel in your own skin for the rest of your life. So, while on the subject, find my intermittent fasting 2.0 video. I dive there into common misconceptions, autophagy, circadian data, all the good stuff.